Hey guys, happy Friday. We've made it to Friday. It's time for a pocket with Joe here on Sports Grid TV on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now X and IG Live. I want to thank you guys all for joining me here today. We've got a small slate on the board today in hockey. Only two games out there with Calgary on the back-to-back, playing the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Devils and the Islanders in action. Now, we made some money yesterday. I took great pleasure in seeing the Edmonton Oilers lose again. The Flyers came out strong, and Carter Hart just playing absolutely phenomenal. But you look at the defense was strong in that game as well, really limiting Edmonton's ability to get those shots on goal. And Jack Campbell giving up those goals just like we would have expected. Now, my favorite bet that we cashed yesterday, if you cashed it with me, was looking at the Winnipeg Jets to score first in that game versus Vegas, and that paid us great plus money at plus 130. That one did cash, and it cashed nicely. So let's make some money today. It is time to break down these two games on the ice. Of course, I've got my same game parlay with the shots on goal. Now, we didn't hit it yesterday. Two of the players yesterday were unable to get those shots on goal. So, unfortunately, that one did not cash. But let's get this one back on track. Let's get the cash here today. And let me know where you are watching from and what made you a hockey fan. Actually, really interested to hear because we know hockey is one of the main sports, but not one of the main sports people really get behind compared to football and basketball. So let me know how you became a hockey fan out there. The first game we're going to talk about is the Calgary Flames taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, current odds for this, and we haven't seen very much movement here. The Calgary Flames coming in at minus 152. The Columbus Blue Jackets at plus 126, total 6.5. Juice to that over 6.5 at minus 128. Now, if you want to take Calgary on the puck line, laying 1.5 at FanDuel, that's plus 158. And plus 1.5 on the Columbus Blue Jackets is minus 192. I don't like that juice on the plus 1.5. And while I could see this being a tight game, it's just not where I'd want to put my money there either. So, I love the comments coming in. You became a hockey fan because of me. I love that, Johnny. Let's get this bread today. Okay, so Markstrom expected in goal for the Calgary Flames, and yes, they are on the back-to-back. They did get the win last night, and they had a phenomenal game out there on the ice. Calgary started off so strong in that game, scoring 2 goals, but their defense also allowed 2 goals in that one last night. No goals were scored in that second period as both defenses clamped down. We did see the goals come in the third period. Huberdeau, fantastic job out there within 49 seconds of that first period starting. He did score that first goal. So that was great to see out of him. We need Huberdeau to continue to play like that for the Calgary Flames, for this team to make it deep into the playoffs this season. Now, on the second night of a back-to-back, it's normally an automatic fade, but Calgary's one of those teams. They're really interesting to see on those back-to-backs, really do play strongly. Last season, going 6-1 in their last 7 games last season on a 0 days rest. So this is a spot I'm not too worried about them here on that back-to-back in this game. And then Columbus. Columbus has Elvis in that. My biggest concern here is Elvis. And while he has started off the season pretty strong, the amount of shots on goal Columbus is allowing on him at 35.7 is not a good number for this goalie, who I do think will show some regression in this game from what we've seen in his first couple out this season. Now, this is their first night of a back-to-back. They have the Minnesota Wild on deck tomorrow. I don't think there's a look-ahead situation where they'd want to beat the Wild or more than beating the Calgary Flames. Both games they are going to be invested on. They have to hit the road tomorrow, though, to face the Wild. So that's one thing to look at. And this team is coming in rested. They haven't played since that win, or since they got shut out versus Red Wings on Monday. And normally, this is where you like to look at a team that is rested to come out versus a team on the back-to-back, and it should be an automatic. Not the case here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. What history has taught us with this team, on 3 days or more rest, this team comes out with rust. So can they change that around in this game? I think offensively they can. I don't see them being shut out here by the Calgary Flames. So I love this game to that over 6.5. What I do like better, though, is Calgary's team total. You can get Calgary's team total over 3.5. That's coming in on FanDuel at minus 112. Just the ability of Calgary to get these shots on Elvis in net is going to be so high. Calgary averaging 33.5 shots on goal per game, and the Columbus Blue Jackets defense allowing 35.7. So I do see those shots on goal raining in this game for the Calgary Flames and them to be able to put at least 4 in Elvis's net in this one. Now Markstrom, he is prone in games. We've seen it season in, season out. If he's going to give up a goal, it's going to be quick and fast in that first period. So looking at the first period over 1.5, I think is another smart way to go. I would also look at that first period, both teams to score. I wouldn't put as much money on both teams to score in the first period, but you are getting beautiful plus money at plus 152 for both teams to score in the first period. Like I said, I do think the Columbus Blue Jackets offense has to bounce back in this one. Being shut out in the last game versus the Red Wings had to have soured this team, and now they've got playmakers here. I love what Bonjenner has been able to do for this team. We know he's already got a hat trick so far this season. Calgary is only allowing, though, 29 shots on goal per game. So if you're looking at anyone from the Columbus Blue Jackets to have a good night, I'd look at their points. I'd look at their goals. I wouldn't look at their shots on goal in this one because I do think Calgary's defense will do enough to limit those shots on goal. Mackenzie Weegar is such a phenomenal player for the Calgary Flames. He's come out really strong this season. Defensive player, he's able to get those big heavy hits out there. And he's also had 5 shots on goal last night. Now, I don't think he can have that same performance here with as many shots on goal, but definitely someone to watch out there on the ice, Mackenzie Weegar. I do have a same game, a shot parlay in this game, and this is the only game I'm going to look at, the same game shot parlay. So if you're just sticking around for that, this is the game. Now, interesting look here. Columbus, who is there? Johnny Hockey. Well, it's Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau out there. And where did he come from? He came from the Calgary Flames. Last December, I don't know if you guys remember this game, and I do. I had it circled in my mind because Calgary was taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus. Well, Calgary was in the day before. They didn't this time. And Johnny Hockey took basically half the team out for dinner and then steamrolled them in the next game. That can't happen in this one. Johnny Hockey, though, is going to be out for vengeance against his former team, and I do think he can sink one here on Markstrom. He's yet to get a goal on the season, and I'm looking for him to be able to get that goal tonight, plus 250 to get a goal on his former goalie, on his former team. Again, 0 goals, 2 assists, but those shots are coming 3, 2, and 2. So I would look for him for the goal tonight. Bonjenner, we know he's been strong for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Plus 200 for him for the goal, but I could see an assist and a point coming for him in this one. Okay, so the same game parlay. Because Calgary will have more abilities to get those shots on goal with the defense of the Columbus Blue Jackets, I'm just targeting 3 guys over here from Calgary to be able to get those shots. Big shout out to everyone on LG that is watching. I see your comments come in, so let's have a happy Friday night, you guys. The 3 guys I'm going to target on Calgary to get these shots on goal. First, we got to look at Elias Lindholm. Lindholm has 1 goal, 4 assists. His shots on goal have been consistent the last 3 games at 3 shots on goal. You can get him plus 3 shots on goal. I'm going to throw that into the parlay. Rasmus Anderson has 1 goal and 2 assists. His shots on goal have been 3, 3, and 4. I'm going to take him 2+ shots on goal because all of the juice in these are too juiced to bet separately, but Rasmus Anderson for the 2 shots or more on goal is coming in right around that 180 mark, which all of these are. So I'm going to take him down to the 2, not at the 3. If you take him up to the 3, you will get some plus money on it there. And then Andrew Mangiapane for his shots on goal in this one. He has been strong out there for them as well, and I expect him to come into this one. So 2+ shots on goal for Mangiapane. All 3 of these guys combined together plus a 273 on that same game parlay for their shots on goal. Now, if you want to take a little bit of a flyer, a little bit more of a plus money bet here, I can't guarantee it cashes, but I do think Johnny Gaudreau, and I can't guarantee anything cashes here. And anyone who tells you that is lying unless a game is fixed. And I don't believe games are fixed. So everything, make sure you bet within your limits, you guys. Everything is gambling. It's called gambling for a reason. I would throw in Johnny Gaudreau for the anytime goal. Throwing in Johnny Gaudreau to this parlay with Elias Lindholm 3+ shots on goal, Rasmus Anderson, 2+ shots on goal, and Andrew Mangiapane, 2+ shots on goal. Takes us from a plus 273 parlay to a plus a 1266 parlay, just for getting Johnny Hockey to get the goal. So if he can get it, it would be a beautiful payday for this one. I'm going to throw a couple dollars on it. But again, don't bet the house on parlays, especially. We know how easily one leg can go wrong. I see all your comments coming in, and I really appreciate you guys for joining me here. Calgary on the money line, team total over 2.5, and Huberto for an anytime point. I like it. I like where you're going with that one. That is a great one. Kelly liking hockey because of her ex-boyfriend, and you're a DGen. I love that, Kelly. And you're liking New Jersey first period. Yeah, let's get to that game, you guys. Like I said, small slate here. Matt, nice to see you here over on IG as well. Looking at Huberto. That is nice. Over 1.5 shots. Been hitting every time so far. Great bets there. Okay, let's look at the next game. I'll recap that same game parlay for anyone who wanted to write it down. Just quickly, the shots on goal, Lindholm 3+, Rasmus Anderson 2+, and Andrew Mangiapane 2+. Those three parlayed plus 273. If you add Johnny Gaudreau in for the anytime goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets, it takes that parlay up to plus 1266. Okay, the next game on the board, give me 1 second here, is the New Jersey Devils taking on the New York Islanders. Now, let me just pull up the current odds here. I just had to verify my location on FanDuel. I'm sure all of you have had to do that once in a while. 5.5 total in this one, minus 132 to the over. Cautious on taking an under on a Friday night. Something about Friday nights, although the New York Islanders have been so strong defensively. Minus 102 here for the Islanders, and minus 188 for the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils on that puck line, laying 1.5 at plus 202, really has me interested in this one, like really interested. I look at this matchup here, and it screams the New Jersey Devils. I can't believe what a short price we're getting on the New Jersey Devils at minus 118. It was minus 115 earlier in the day, but this team is a stronger team of 2 bad losses in games where they really should have been able to get those wins versus the Islanders. And yes, the Islanders are undefeated on the season, but let's look at who they've defeated. They beat the Buffalo Sabres, and the Sabres weren't scoring. Tag Thompson finally got on the scoreboard yesterday, and then they beat the Arizona Coyotes, and the Coyotes were on a back-to-back. So yes, they're undefeated. Yes, they're at home. I'm just not buying into the fact that they will be able to keep up with the New Jersey Devils. We know how strong this team is, how fast this team is, how young this team is out there on the ice. The Islanders are holding opponents, though, to 21 shots on goal per game. But again, it was the Sabres and the Arizona Coyotes. I'm not buying it. Sorokin is a phenomenal goalie, and Sorokin could win or lose them this game. Sorokin would be the reason they could get this win. Their defense would be the reason they could get this win. But offensively, we look at the New Jersey Devils averaging 3.33 goals per game and 32.3 shots. I do expect Jack Hughes to come in just flying. I also expect Tyler Toffoli to have a big night. Now, you guys know Tyler Toffoli was with the Calgary Flames. I like his ability here to come out in this game and put his first goal on the board tonight. When we look at him in his career versus the New York Islanders, he's been phenomenally strong. 14 points in 17 games. That's 7 goals and 7 assists. Versus the Islanders, I do expect that kind of production out of him tonight. I'm going to take him for the anytime goal here. Him for the anytime goal is actually, you know what? Let's take him for the anytime point in case it's the assist here. I just love that combination with Jack Hughes, and the goal could come off either of their pucks. So I like Toffoli for the point because we're not laying that much juice. It's minus 130 for the point. Now you can take him for the goal, and you're going to get that plus money. You can't take Jack Hughes just for a point. And that's why I'd look at Toffoli for the point, because we are getting the value at minus 130. But a little sprinkle on the anytime goal as well. Jack Hughes being absolutely phenomenal. 2 goals, 4 assists. Jasper Bratt, also looking at him, he's got 3 goals and 2 assists. The shots on goal are really coming in for these guys, with Jack Hughes 6, 6, and 4, and Jasper Bratt 5-3-1. So getting better each and every game. We look at Tyler Toffoli, 4-5-2 shots on goal in those last couple of games, and he does have those 2 assists. I would caution you at taking shots on goal in this one. And yes, I don't buy into the defense being as strong as these stats are showing for the Islanders versus the teams that they have played, the Sabres and the Arizona Coyotes. When the Sabres weren't scoring, weren't getting those shots. The same with the Arizona Coyotes on a back-to-back. But just in case, we know this Islanders team is one that likes to grind out low-scoring games, and they try to really shut down fast teams like the Devils. I would caution you at taking those shots on goal props in this game just because of the juice that you're having to lay on all of these guys. But I do like those anytime goals. So look at that player that you really think is going to have a phenomenal night. For me, it's Tyler Toffoli because I love what he's been able to do versus the Islanders in his career. And I'm going to sprinkle that anytime goal. I'm going to take him for the point at -130. Now, I do think this is a huge bounce back here for the Devils. They've had a couple games off after those losses. Their power play is so strong. They're 4th overall in the league, converting on that power play at 31.3%. Now, the Islanders do have an advantage in the way that they don't take a lot of penalties. They're 1st overall in the league, only getting into that box for 6 minutes on average per game. And when you look at some teams that are like facing 16 minutes, it's pretty phenomenal. But again, short sample size for the Islanders here. I do expect this to be a game where the Devils are able to get under their skin. So give me the New Jersey Devils on the money line -118, and then give me them for a sprinkle on that puck line, laying the 1.5. That plus money again on the 1.5 is coming in, you guys, at +202. I do think this team has every ability to win by those 2 goals. Such a young, talented team here to get back on track. So those are the 2 games, 2 quick games out there on the ice. Jack Hughes, 4+4.5 shots on goal tonight. Again, David, I'm a little worried here about this Islanders defense. I do think it is a small sample size looking at the 21 shots on average allowed on goal. I think that this is a game where the Devils should be able to get way more shots on them. I'm just a little cautious here for them to come out strong and lock down the Jack Hughes and Toffoli and Jasper Bratt's ability to get these shots and for the shots to be more spread out over the ice. So if you like Jack Hughes, I suggest you take him for the point anytime goal, maybe parlay something like that. Kadri could definitely score tonight. That is a nice way to look. And yes, if you guys can hit that like button, hit that retweet button, I would very much appreciate it. And I agree with you, Kelly. The Islanders are too old to take on this young New Jersey Devils team. I think this is a phenomenal way to make some really good plus money. I really do. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it, think that the New Jersey Devils could come out right out of the gate, hit Sorokin fast. Now, Sorokin is a difference maker, and this is something we need to remember how strong Sorokin is for the Islanders. He's an absolutely phenomenal goalie in net. But that's it, you guys. Only 2 games today. We have a boatload, 15 games tomorrow. We'll be going over all of them. So turn on your notification buttons because we're going to try to get the show off before the games kick off. The games, I believe, kick off at, I believe it is 11 my time, 1 o'clock Eastern. So I'm going to try to have the show about an hour before. So that's 10 my time. Right. Yeah. 10 my time, noon Eastern. So plan for right around then and look at Toffoli for that point. I definitely think it would be a good one. Devils and Flames in a parlay. That is a great way to go as well, Johnny. But you guys have a fantastic Friday night. It's all good. If you missed the show, go over to Twitter. You can rewatch it. I'm going to put those bookmarks up. Long story short, I do think Calgary, team total over 3.5. Calgary for those shots on goal props. That's exactly what you need to look at tonight. They will get it on Columbus. Johnny Hockey, though, I think comes out strong versus his former team, the New Jersey Devils. Puck line, money line. Look at them to get those goals before you look at those shots on goal. And I'm staying off that total because I do think this is one where the Islanders could shut them down defensively, but I just don't believe in it. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me here on Pocket with Joe on Sports Grid. Don't forget to download the Sports Grid app, available at everywhere that you can download those apps, Apple and Google Play Store. You don't want to miss out. So much free stuff, great content over there. Bye, guys.